Good morning. This morning we're going to do a class that focuses primarily on releasing all the tension in your back. I know a lot of people are sitting at a desk a lot, maybe working from home more, and you'll find that tension's building up through your spine. So today is primarily focused on releasing and relieving that tension, getting our back nice and limber and freed up, if you like. Okay, let's begin. Let's shake away the week. So feel like any negativity in the week is just flicking out through your fingers. Any energy that was a bit blocked in your arms is freeing up. Take them out to the sides and that will just open your chest a bit. Take it up. And bring them down, and just gentle bend, not the whole way down as yet. Coming up. And then coming down a bit further. And coming up. And one more. Excellent. Now just give your legs a bit of a shake. Again, this it gets the energy pathways and meridians, they start moving when we do this. So just arms and legs, whole body shaking, and then just bounce. Just bounce on your heels until you can feel your cheeks wobble. Let the bounce sort of reverberate up right through your whole body. And you'll find quite quickly you get warm, and that's the energy flow. Excellent. Okay, let's begin. Lifting our shoulders, breathe in. Lovely. Just doing this stimulates your vagus nerve. So during the day, if you find the tensions building up in your shoulders, or just doing this, will just bring you back to, okay. And rolling those shoulders. So get right into the shoulder blades, into the ribs, so you can feel your whole upper back. And then coming forward as if you're swimming. Lovely. Give yourself a pat on the back. Just getting those arms, shoulders moving. Excellent. Place your fingertips on your shoulders. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. And out. And another one. So you can feel yourself breathing into the back of your ribs. So we're going to do 3 backward. And then 3 forward. As if you're doing butterfly swimming. Really feeling, you'll probably notice any tension in your shoulders, back of your neck, top of your back now. Excellent. Hopefully they're freed up a little bit. Okay, let's circle our hips, just starting to move into the torso, the legs, and back the other way. And then keep everything from your waist up still and just circle your hips. First one way and then the other way. Hopefully that movement is getting easier and you can really feel it helping to open up your lower back, Sacro-Iiac joint. Okay, keeping your knees nice and soft. Just gently. So don't keep your feet too still in this one, let them move. That way it's quite safe. Lovely. Okay, with your feet parallel and comfortably apart, We're just going to let the arms swing. And then a bit more of the legs. So a bit more of a bounce. So we're doing this gradually. Just take it easy with your back until you're coming right up and right down. Take it easy because it's humid today, so you don't want to do this too fast. Let's do one more. Excellent. And one more of those. Lovely. Swinging your arms. Nice and relaxed. And now let's do 2. Over and round. Over and round. And let's do one more. Lovely. Take your arm over your head. A nice stretch. Make sure you've got a little bit of tension in your core for these ones. And now take your hand across your body, turning your feet. So I'm turning right round on my feet and pick them up. That way it's safe for your knees. But stretch through your shoulder. Lovely. Coming back into the center, have your feet quite wide. Your knees are going directly over your feet. A little bit of tension in your lower stomach muscles. So you're going to bend, take a nice deep breath in. Relax your shoulders, breathe out. And again. And you'll feel this really opening your chest, opening up right through your whole front of your body. And if you're really tired, this will help. You probably notice that tiredness as you do it, but it's helping to free and let it go. So let's do one more. Excellent. I want you to take your opposite knee to your hand. So waking up your brain, getting the left side of your brain to talk to the right side of your brain. And then if you can reach your feet, if that's comfortable. Lovely. Now we're going to take it behind diagonally. So just touching your feet. Now today's quite humid, so do make sure you drink plenty during the class. And that will also help your back to keep it nice and hydrated. Especially if we're going to work quite deeply in the spine, so that will help. Okay, let's warm up our spine and our hamstrings. Keep one foot still. Step forward, reaching up. And then coming down, lift this foot. And again, reaching up and coming down. Feel a nice stretch through your hamstrings. So really stretch through your spine in this bit. And then coming down, we'll hold this one a little bit longer. And then we're going to do one more on this side. Just giving a lovely stretch to those hamstrings. We always warm up the hamstrings gradually. They don't like being suddenly stretched. That's why we always move into it in gradations, if you like. Swap feet, keep the other one still. This time open through your chest. So feel like you're pushing your breastbone, your sternum forward. So really here, opens. And it's getting a bit of forward and backward movement through your rib cage. And hold this one a little bit longer. And we'll do one more. So really give it your all. Excellent. Now this Tai Chi move that really brings the flow back into our body. So a lovely big figure of 8. And then just lasso your arm around your head. And let momentum send the arm around. And this way that movement will help to free up your whole shoulder joint, your shoulder girdle. So many muscles, ligaments and tendons in and around the shoulder. If you've ever injured your shoulder joint, you know it's quite a complex joint. It takes quite a long time to heal. Let's do the other side. So nice big movement, flowing and big, rather than effort. This should just be more like a dance. That way the energy will be flowing, your subtle energy will be flowing. And then we'll do both together. So draw a nice figure of 8. And then take your arms up, bring them down very slowly and feel your shoulder blades sort of pulling inward. You can feel those muscles between them. And then feel them gliding down your ribs. So be very aware of where your shoulder blades are in relation to your ribs. Lovely. Hopefully they've come down your back. They're both even. They're not sort of doing this sort of thing. They're not sticking out. And they've come down a bit further. As we get stressed, our shoulder blades move up our back. And if we're using one side like this to write or type, one will move up and we get all sorts of funny shapes going on. So we just want to bring them back down to what's normal and ideal. Okay. Let's do this Qigong grounding exercise because it's just too nice not to. Okay. So have your feet comfortably apart, lifting your arms, sink down through your feet, grounding your energy. Now hollow through your back, really arching. Surround yourself in a beautiful white light, a healing light. Bring it through at your waist. Gather up, big ball of earth energy. And just let it pour down through the very center of you, right through your chakras. Just energizing your whole system. Lovely, we'll do that again. So nice and relaxed, push down, feel that connection. Arching, involve as much as your back as you can. Lovely circle of healing light surrounding your body. Bring it through at the waist. Gather up that big ball of energy. This time you're going to imagine you're pouring it down through your physical body. Every cell, every fiber filled with that beautiful energy. We can do it one more time. So really hollow, involve your whole back. Gather up a huge ball of energy. And feel like it's not just coming down through your physical body, but through your aura, through the energy field that surrounds you. Lovely. Can you feel the difference that doing that makes? It's such a wonderful exercise. Okay, I like to have a stretch. So we'll begin with our calf muscles. So have your feet as much as you can both facing forward, as if they were on railway tracks. Your front knee is bent, pushing the back heel down until you feel a stretch in this big calf muscle behind your knee, your gastrocnemius. It's Big, powerful muscle that gets lots of knots of tension. And if you've been doing a lot of walking, running, cycling, it'll need stretching out. Then I'm going to do that deeper calf muscle. So bring your foot in, knee follows your foot, pushing all your weight down through this heel. Okay, this front foot is simply there for balance. So I'm pushing my weight down till I feel a stretch deeper in my calf, more toward the inside and down toward the Achilles tendon. Now, some people won't feel this as much as other people. It depends how your ankles put together and what sort of activities you do. But you still want to stretch it because this is the endurance muscle. This is the one that the tension builds up over time, and then it can cause problems with your Achilles tendon, and you really, really don't want that because it takes so long to heal. And coming up, let's do the first stretch on the other side. So that you're on those railway tracks. If you feel a bit wobbly, just take your feet slightly wider apart. Pushing that back heel down, front knee is bent, body's lifting upward. So there's two movements, your body's going up and your heel's going down. Then bring your back foot in. Knee follows your foot, that's really important for the safety of your knee ligaments. Push down through that heel, all your weight. Some people prefer to come down like this, they get more force through that joint, but I like being up. Lovely. Let's stretch the front of our thighs right up into these hip flexors in the front of your hips. So holding on to something, grab your ankle, grab your leggings. You can put a sock around your ankle and hold the sock if you can't reach. You want your knee and thigh next to the other one. Okay, you want to shoulders back, lift through your ribs. Once you've got that position, then gently pull your heel back away from the buttock till you feel a good stretch in the front of your thigh. And then you can push this hip bone forward and you'll feel the stretch move up just into the front of the hip. It's quite a subtle change. If you let your shoulder go back, you're getting a nice stretch in your shoulder and chest as well. Lovely. Opens the whole front of the body, this one. So let's do the other side. Knee and thigh next to each other. Shoulders back, ribs lifted. Then pull your heel back from your buttock. And push that hip bone forward. Big muscles, the quads. Quads, there's 4 big muscles in the front of your thigh. We don't want them to get short. It starts affecting the mechanics of your knee joint. It's not a good idea. We want them strong and flexible. Then they support the knee, and the knee has full range of movement. Lovely. And release. We're going to come into a forward bend. Take it easy with this humid weather, especially if you have low blood pressure or a little bit high blood pressure. So come down slowly. If you feel a bit, ooh, maybe don't come down as far, bend your knees a bit more, or just rest on a chair or something. Okay, so we're bending from here, chin up, coming down very slowly. Just stop at this flat back position. Just allowing those hamstrings to stretch slowly, strengthening the muscles in your back. And then coming down and give your head and neck a shake. Let your shoulders release, your elbows are relaxed. You're bending from your hips, so you might wiggle your hips side to side just to make sure they're free. And then breathing into the back of your ribs. And just feel like all the tension from the week, all the problems and the issues and the challenges from the week are just pouring out through your fingertips down into the floor. So the forward bend is a posture in which we can surrender everything that stands in the way of our peace. helps us to return to peace. Strong on the back of your legs. If you need to bend your knees a bit, do. And then just gently move from your left foot to your right foot. Excellent. Coming down to sitting. So if you need to sit on a cushion or a block or a rug, just under your tailbone for these ones, especially if you're a bit tight through your lower back, it can just tilt your pelvis, make them a little bit easier. So lift up through the base of your spine. You keep that lift by keeping your chin up. Opposite hand on your knees. Still keeping that lift, coming forward. So you're coming forward as far as you can. And once you reach that point, oh yeah, there's no more stretch, then relax. Relax your head, your shoulders, and just close your eyes and relax your breathing. Feel like you're breathing into and with the flow of the stretch. It's a strong stretch, but there shouldn't be any pain, any hot, sharp, burning feeling. But it does really work strongly on your lower back, releasing, and into the joint called the Sacro-Iiac joint, where your spine meets your pelvis, if you like. Quite a complex joint that can give us problems as we get older if we don't keep it free. So this one really helps to keep it free, so that the biomechanics of walking and running, your hips and back are moving in the way that they're meant to. So it keeps that fluidity of your movement and the grace of your movement, to be honest. Stops you getting stiff and walking like an old person. Coming up slowly. Lovely. Swapping over. Now make sure this is comfortable. You know, if you've got a sore knee or a sore leg or something, you can always do it with one leg straight. You can have your legs not crossed very tightly, just whatever works for your body. So lifting up, keep your chin up, coming forward, coming down and relaxing. And breathe. Breathe into the back of your ribs. We just feel like we're just taking life at life's natural pace. So we do so much that's in a rush and under pressure. Don't let our yoga be that way. I'm going to start the day in a nice relaxed way, moving our body and moving with and working with our body. And coming up slowly. So you listen to your body, because your body is unique and it has its own unique, characteristics, and you've got to work with that. Okay. Right. Lift through your chest, relax through your shoulders. Pull your heels in and then push your knees down. Use those big strong muscles to stretch your inside thigh right deep into the pelvis and the hip joint. You can probably feel some attachments of muscles when you do this. And this one, as well as giving you the good stretch that you can feel, it's helping you to be the sort of person who doesn't let anger and resentment and old issues build up. So you don't hold on to grudges, you don't hold on to resentment. If you're irritated, but you let it pass. So it's not what passes into your mind or moves through your mind, it's what you hold in your mind. So this one helps to give you that capacity to let go. Still feel the emotions, but let them pass through you. And release. That was a good long stretch. Okay, stretch your feet out in front. Point your toes down. Pull your heels back. I don't know about you, but when the weather's like this, I find my ankles getting stiff and clicky, and just need to really keep those tendons free at the front, ligaments around your ankles moving. Lovely. Let's do a forward bend. So again, lifting through the base of your spine. Breathe in through your nose. Lift your arms. Keep your chin up, breathe out through your mouth. Coming down ever so slowly. Hands come round. Keep your knees down if you can. If you've got a sore back, you might need to bend your knees. Coming down nice and slowly. So I'm lifting my heart energy up into my throat. So I can speak from a place of kindness, compassion. I can say sorry easily. I can own my part in some conflict or something that went wrong. So I'm not just stretching my hamstrings here. There's an emotional, mental, spiritual aspect to every yoga posture. And that's this one. Forward bend keeps things flowing, keeps you growing, keeps you young. Lovely. And the more I talk, of course, you don't notice how many you're doing. Right, take your right foot, place it next to your left knee. You can keep this leg straight or tuck it under. Draw this right knee as close as you can to your body. This protects your back. When you lift through your back, place your right hand down so you hold that lift. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, turn to the right, pulling this knee across till you feel a stretch right through this thigh, in under the buttock muscles into those deeper hip rotators. You can feel it into your lower back, maybe around the back of your ribs. If you let your shoulder go back, you can get a stretch in your chest. And you can feel it just sort of squeezing the tension out of your gut, out of your tummy, which is really good. Sometimes that tension's there for years and just becomes part of our normal until we release it and go, ah, that's what it feels like when it's free. And then we don't want to go back to it being tight and knotted. Your gut really is sometimes your emotional radar. You know, I know that if something is challenging, my gut goes into a knot, can't eat. So it really tells me if I'm feeling threatened. Come back round to the front. So we've got to release all those patterns. Let's do the other side. Left foot on the outside of your right knee. Tuck this one under. Bring this knee close. Look after that back. Lift through your spine. Left hand down. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out. Turn to the left. Pull this knee across your body. So keep the lift. Always lift before you twist. Then you're really looking after those little discs between your vertebrae. They're sort of made out of a fibrous, almost like a hessian type of a substance with goo in the middle. Sort of it's like the shock absorption. It's like a thick, semi-fluid, gooey stuff. And so you really want to lift so those fibers are stretched. Otherwise, you're squeezing that goo, pressing on the fibers. So you don't want that. And coming back round to the front, untangle your legs. Stretching through the side, take your arm right over your head, not forward, not backward, over your ears. And again. And again. Lovely. One more on each side. Now I'm going to do things a little bit in a different order today. So we're staying down here. Have a drink if you want to, because I want to do energy block release 7, which involves, it's almost like meditation in motion. It involves the coordination of your breath, your body, and your mind, and is very releasing for all three, okay, and especially good for your back. So what we're going to do is, have a drink so that your spine is nice and hydrated. You're going to lie down on your back. So just make sure you can see me. Legs stretched out, arms by your side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with just the arms, and we're going to coordinate our breath with the movement of our arm. Okay, so as we breathe in, your arm comes up and goes over your head to rest on the floor briefly. And as you breathe out, your arm returns. Now move in time with your breath. Don't breathe in time with your movement, or it'll be more stressful. So just let your body move with the breath, totally focused on that movement of your arm. So just alternating your arms, coming right into an awareness of your arm moving and your breath. And to see if you can find the peace in the movement. A lot of the tension in our spine is deeply held and it's connected to our thoughts. So we're just beginning in the very deepest cause, if you like, through the mind and the breath. Now this time, finish that cycle. This time, as your arm moves, I want you to move your leg as well. Now, if your back doesn't like this, you can do it with bent knees. You just bend your knees and you just lift arm and leg in a beautiful coordination with the breath. Or if you want to, you can do it with straight leg. Don't have it absolutely locked, have it gently straight. Slight bend at your knee. And again, just alternating, focusing on the breath and your body moving in time. So we're alternating, but we're doing same side, arm and leg. And then when you finish the cycle that you're on, I want you to do opposite arm and leg. It'll probably feel a little bit easier. And when we do this exercise, we're reprogramming some patterns in our body. We're helping to release tension that goes right into the connective tissue. And it's very relaxing. I've got to be careful not to go to sleep. So finish the cycle that you're on till you've done an even number on each side. Lovely. Now bend your knees and draw them up to your chest. Take your arms out to the sides. So get yourself in a position. What we're going to do is we're going to circle our knees. And we're going to go anti-clockwise with very small circles. And you'll feel the stretch in and around your sacrum. Lower, that big triangular part of your spine where it meets your hips. So let the circles gradually get bigger. If you've got a bit of a sore back, keep your knees close to your body. If you are happy to work your stomach muscles a little bit more, you can sort of separate the knees away from your body a little bit. And as the circles get bigger, you will feel some stomach muscles working. But don't overdo it. Just work within your body's comfortable limits. So you're massaging the whole of that sacrum area. Anti-clockwise undoes old patterns. So you're opening up to change. Once the circles are as big as they go, stop, and you're going to go clockwise with big circles, inviting positive change. And those circles slowly get smaller. So really freeing up your lower back. If you ever have a stiff lower back, do this one. Until your knees come to rest in the center. Now we're going to take our knees over to one side. We're nice and warmed up. You'd never do this one if you hadn't warmed up sufficiently. Okay, I want you, if you've got a bit of a sore back, if you don't like this stretch because it is quite strong, put your feet down first and then tip your knees over. If you're quite happy with this one, you can keep your knees up, your feet off the floor, and take your knees over to one side, keeping your shoulders on the floor as much as you can. It's a strong stretch, but there shouldn't be any hot feeling or any sharp pain. If you want more of a stretch, turn your head the opposite way to your knees. If it's too strong, straighten your legs a little bit. If it's too strong under your arms, bring your arms down towards your body. But if you can, just let the tension in the back of your ribs and through your hips release. Now pull your tummy in, engage your tummy muscles, use those muscles protecting your back to bring your knees back to the center and take them over to the other side. So you probably find, I always do, that one side is a lot stiffer than the other. So just work with your body. And sometimes you might hear little cracks or pops or releases. It's okay. Okay, you're not done any damage. It's just some tension releasing, sometimes air in the joints. But pain is your guide. Any pain and you stop what you're doing. Okay, that's your body talking to you. Now, pull those tummy muscles in and bring your knees back to the center. Now, straighten one leg, keep the other knee bent. And you're going to take this bent knee, roll over towards your opposite hand. Just as much of a twist as your spine is happy with, keeping your shoulders on the floor as much as you can. And breathe. Don't hold your breath, keep breathing. And I know it's strange, but if you can, relax. Relax into it. And then gently bring that knee back to the center. Straighten that leg. Keep the other leg flat on the floor and just pull this leg towards you as if you're doing the splits. You'll feel your hamstrings talking to you. And then if you point and flex your foot, you'll feel a lot of muscles in your legs. Okay. Calf muscles working. Circle that ankle, really freeing up. You might feel some clicking, releasing the tension in your ankle. Circle back the other way. Lovely, deep stretch. Now bend this knee and take the outside edge of your foot and place it on your thigh or your knee or your shin, wherever it goes comfortably, so the hip can open into a half lotus position. If this is really uncomfortable for you, you can put a rug or a cushion just under your knee. And then if you want more, take your arms over your head so that you're feeling the stretch through your ribs and into your waist as well. Now this one always makes me feel like going to sleep. It releases some very deep tension. I always feel very calm. I don't fully understand what's going on in this one, except there's something about opening in the hip in this way. And I have read that a lot of people who have depression have problems with their hip flexors, and many studies are starting to correlate those two. So maybe there's something about opening our hip just releases a lot of that negative tension and we just feel happier because things are flowing. That's the only thing I can sort of surmise. And then lift your knee and place that leg down. We're going to do all of that on the other side. So take your arms back out to the side, bend the other knee. And then rolling that knee over toward the opposite hand, keeping your shoulders on the floor, just twisting your spine as much as your spine is happy. So it should feel good, like a good stretch, but no pain. Feel like you're gently working with your body to improve things. You're not forcing, you're just easing into it, flowing into change. And bring that knee back, straighten your leg, pull it towards you and keep the other leg on the floor. Okay, don't let it lift up. So pull this towards you, feel those hamstrings, and then point and flex your foot. And you'll feel a few more muscles. Lovely, and then circle, freeing up that ankle. Back the other way. Feels really good when your ankles are free. And then bend your knee, take the outside edge of your foot and let it rest on your thigh, your knee, your shin, wherever it sort of sits comfortably in this half lotus. And then take your arms overhead if you want to. Just allow your body to release the tension. When you've been holding on to a lot of tension, as it releases, a lot of lactic acid is released into your bloodstream. Sometimes it's a bit of a wave of tiredness. I mean, you metabolize that and you feel better, and not too long at all, but just work with your body. Lovely, raise that knee up. And then I want you to place your feet on the floor, hip width apart, feet parallel, and slide your heels in towards your buttocks. So we're getting ready for the bridge. Comfortable angle with your knees, lower back is on the floor. So first movement, stage one, we're going to bend at our waist and just lift your hips off the floor. Then you're going to slowly lower your spine down the mat, one vertebrae at a time. When your lower back reaches the floor, consciously release the buttock muscles, and you'll find that sets off a chain reaction of release in deeper muscles. So that's stage one. Stage two, this time lift a bit higher. Lift your hips, lift your ribs. Shoulder blades are still on the floor, but you can feel the tension in the front of your hips. Now start between your shoulder blades and just lower your spine down the mat, one vertebrae at a time, using the strength of your stomach muscles, really strengthening your core while releasing your back. All those little joints between the vertebrae, there's ligaments that run from one vertebrae to the next. We're letting them release. There's connective tissue deep in the spine that gets tight, especially if we've been under long-term stress. And release. Now, if that's enough for your back today, just do stage two. If you're on the first 3 days of your period, you're feeling a bit tired, just do stage two again. Otherwise, if you want to do a full bridge, we're going to come right up, tuck your shoulders under and come up onto the back of your arms, lifting your ribs as high as you can. Now we need to position our feet so that our back is comfortable. So if it's pinching in your lower back, bring your heels slightly closer, take more weight on your heels, and you can release the buttock muscles a little bit, just to take that tension off your lower back. Make sure your feet are staying parallel. If you can feel one turning in or shifting, it can be a bit of a weakness in the hip, deep hip muscles on that side. So you want to make sure that they are strengthening and holding that position. And then just breathe through the top of your chest. You can feel, excuse me, you can feel the heart energy concentrated in the throat, so helping you to speak your truth. You can feel the muscles that this is strengthening in and around your back and your hips. Now, if you've had enough, start coming down. If you want to hold a little bit longer today, there is an opportunity to do that, but listen to your body. We don't want the body going into distress. We want positive stress, not negative stress. So probably that's about enough. Untuck your shoulders and come down slowly. Very aware of each vertebrae. See if you can put it down one at a time. You feel that core getting stronger. you're releasing against gravity. So your stomach muscles are working quite hard with this one, but in an opening way, not a contracting way. It's a very powerful thing to do. And release those buttock muscles. As you lie here, use your mind. Imagine your spine is lengthening from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Imagine your shoulders are releasing and widening across the floor. Same with the back of your hips. Imagine that your knees are releasing up toward the ceiling and your head is gently releasing up out of your shoulders. So from the solar plexus, it's as if your body is opening and expanding. When we're stressed, we contract. It makes everything harder. Organs have got to try and work under contract conditions. There's not as much space, not as good a blood supply. Nothing works as well when we're contracted. So when we just trust and open, our body goes, thank goodness for that. And it can just function better. We have more vitality. Everything calms down. So you can do this with your mind. Just give yourself permission to open. And you'll feel all sorts of little subtle changes going on as you lie here. Wonderful. Now draw your knees up to your chest and give them a hug. And then we're going to stretch our legs out and our arms overhead, pulling your ribs right up out of your hips so you're as long as possible. Really stretch. Come on, you're going to be half an inch taller, at least. Now bring your arms and shoulders down without collapsing through the middle. So you should feel like in and around your ribs, I've sort of changed the alignment. You've got your waist back. All these organs have got more space. You can breathe easily. Lovely. We're going to gently turn over and come up into a position for the cat. So just take it easy because we've been shifting a lot of energy and you might be a little bit lightheaded. Okay. Best position for the cat. Knees good hip width apart, hands directly under your shoulders. So don't have them too far forward, don't have them too far back. Weight evenly distributed between your knees and your hands. If your wrists don't like this, you can come up on your fists. Okay, the movement starts here at the base of your spine. So you're going to tuck your pelvis under, gently arch through your back, dropping your head. And then you're going to tip your pelvis backward, hollowing your lower back, stretching through the spine as your head comes up, without sinking in your lower back too much. So again, tuck your pelvis under, one vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly. Breathing out, arching up. And breathing in as you stretch through your spine and your head comes up. So nice and slowly. It's easy to do this quickly, much harder and more effective to do it slowly. So notice the parts of your back that are not moving as smoothly as others. See if you can get everything flowing and smooth. Lovely. Do one more. Excellent. And then just come off your wrists for a moment and just give them a bit of a stretch. Okay, a nice stretch for your wrists, hands face backward, and you just pull back. Especially if you use your hands and arms a lot in your work, you'll find the muscles in your forearm get quite tight. And release. Okay, we're going to go back into that cat position and we're just going to free up a bit more into our lower back and get some movement, and into our hips as well, because the two are related. If one's tight, the other tends to be. Okay, if you've had enough with your wrists, go on your fists. So what you're going to do this time is, like we did in the warm-up, you're going to stay still from your waist up, and you're going to just circle from the waist down. And the beauty of doing this again is we've now really freed up our back. So you've got an opportunity to get even more movement and to free up tension even deeper. And let's go back the other way. So nice, trying to keep from your waist up still, just moving your hips. And then you're going to draw a figure of 8 if you can, and you'll find some internal muscles quite deep. And then if you can coordinate it, try the other way. Lovely. Now again, if your wrists are getting sore, go up on your fists. Now I want you to just lift your leg, and I want you to just circle forwards. Circle around the hip. And then move your leg forward and backward, just moving it through the hip. Finding the points in your hip that stick. And then circle backward. So nice and slowly, but you're using some quite deep muscles, and they'll start talking to you in a moment. Now let's do the same on the other side. I'll turn around so you can see. So start off with, you're going to circle forwards. Using some hip abductor muscles. Many people, these are not so strong and they tire easily. And you lose support in your hips. And then moving your leg backwards and forwards through its range of movement. Find the point where it sticks. And then circling backwards. Lovely. And then we're just going to come into the swan, just to open up and give a good stretch through that lower back. So knees as far apart as you're comfortable with, touching your toes, hands quite far forward, and take your head down. So you can feel the stretch through your upper back, under your arms, into your ribs. Then you're going to come up and sink back onto your haunches, and you'll feel the stretch more into your lower back and into your hips. And the further you have your knees apart, the stronger the stretch, the more you get a stretch. Now I want to come forward onto the floor, and I just want to do a little bit of work strengthening some muscles that posturally keep your shoulder blades in a good position. Now when these muscles are nice and strong, if my shoulder blades are good and stable, it means I have a free movement of my arm, because my body can posturally support those shoulder blades. If those muscles that support my shoulder blades get a little weakened, which the number one thing that does that is sitting in a posture like this, okay? Sitting for hours at a computer tightens these muscles and weakens the muscles between your shoulder blades and your spine, and a big finger-like muscle, Serratus anterior, that stabilizes your shoulder joints. So we want to keep these postural muscles good and strong so that we have free movement of our arms, but that shoulder joint is doing, that shoulder girdle, sorry, the shoulder blade is doing its job. It's nice and supported. So the first thing I want you to do is take your arms up, turn your hands, bring them down, and then we're going to make the mudra of an eagle. So I want you to pull your thumb into your fingers, bend your elbows, and pull your shoulder blades together. And you'll be like, ah, yeah, those muscles you can feel now are your rhomboids. Also, some of Serratus anterior. Okay, so take your arms up, take them down, pull into that eagle mudra with your hands and pull your elbows in until you can feel your shoulder blades pulling together. Let me just hold that for a moment. These are the muscles that we want to strengthen. So we're just seeing how they are by doing this. It's also a beautiful posture. Emotionally frees your wings, sets you free. Okay, so the eagle, think of an eagle flying high. Okay, now we're going to lie on the floor and I'm going to show you how to isolate those muscles and how to strengthen them a little bit. So lie on your front with your arms by your sides and your forehead on the floor. Now, you're going to keep the back of your palms on the floor at all times. And then what I want you to do is just lift your shoulder up, but keep your arm where it is. So I'm not moving anything except my shoulder, and then lower it down. So you're lifting up gently, slowly, controlled, and you're lowering down gently, slowly, and controlled. So you just lift one side at a time, just your shoulder. If you're not sure, have a look at what I'm doing. So just my shoulder up, just my shoulder down. And when you feel comfortable with doing them one at a time, you can try both. Don't lift your upper body, just my shoulders. My head and neck are staying where they are. My palms are still on the floor. Hold that and lower down slowly. So the lowering down is as important as the lifting up. Now, if this is really hard for you, it means that you may have some weakening in those postural muscles, and I would advise you to do that exercise. If you found that one side was different to the other, again, do the exercise, but the side that's weaker, the side that's hurting, you just do a few more singly on that side. Okay, so it's just giving you an idea what that shoulder stability is like for you. Now I want to do some stages of the Cobra into the Crocodile. Okay, so in the same position, arms stretched out, forehead on the floor. So everything from your waist down is relaxed. I don't want you clenching your buttocks and using your legs. So first stage, just lift your head. So we're just lengthening the muscles in the front of your throat and strengthening some muscles in the back of your neck that support your neck. Now tuck your chin into your chest, lengthening the back of your neck. And then once your forehead is parallel, lower it down to the floor, releasing in your shoulders if you can. Now tuck your fingers under and bring your hands one hand length closer to your body. Now again, lifting your head till you feel tension in the muscles at the top of your shoulders, top of trapezius, where your neck joins your shoulders. And I might even be talking to you because we've been working these muscles today. And then tuck your chin down to your chest, lengthening the back of your neck. And then slowly lower that head down, releasing in your shoulders as much as you can. Bring your thumbs level with your eyes. Now push your tummy into the floor and see if you can lift your upper body, just using your back muscles, but my legs and buttocks are relaxed. So I can feel tension in those muscles around my lower back, and I'm strengthening them. Gardening muscles. Okay, we want them good and strong. And then come up into the Sphinx. So tuck your elbows in, come up onto your forearms. Close your eyes. Take your awareness into the point between your eyebrows, just into the brain. And I want you to see a candle flame. See it burning brightly. If you're not very visual, feel it. Feel that light. And now see circles of light just flowing out, clearing your mind, clearing the energy around your head, and circling, clearing the energy around your whole body. but aligning your whole being with your third eye, with this intuitive wisdom to be found within you. Now bring all of the light back into the candle flame in the center of your forehead. And imagine it flowing into your two eyes, so you bring that wisdom into the world of the senses. Lovely. Coming down slowly. Now, we're not quite finished, sorry. I want you to either make a fist or a flat hand and place that fist just under your hips, right in the front of the hips where your legs join your body. Okay, so it's just to give a bit of a leverage. You might have to take a watch or any jewelry off. So from this position, I want you to lift one leg about half a foot off the floor in tension. So you can feel the tension right through to your buttock muscle. So it's strengthening the buttock muscle and some of those deeper hip muscles. And then as you put your leg down, feel like it's pulling back and out of the hip socket so it's longer. And then consciously release every muscle. Okay, we'll do the same on the other leg. So lift and hold that tension for a moment. This posture is called the locust. And then lower and lengthen. Lovely. Now, if you're comfortable to and it doesn't pinch in your lower back, you can lift both together. We're not lifting very high, but you will feel lots of muscles. And we're strengthening muscles that really support our lower back. If it's pinching, do one leg at a time. And then as you lower, lengthen. And release all of those muscles, and you'll feel a wave of release through your body. So we're going to do it one more time, either one leg at a time or both together. And lowering down. Now you finally get to rest. If you come into the crocodile, so one hand on top of the other one, forehead on your hands. Take your feet apart and turn your heels in and your toes outward. Now you might find that you're feeling quite tired. If you had some deep tension in your back, we've probably released it and your body will just be processing that for the next little while. So work with your body. See if you can just relax into the crocodile. So surrender and let go. You know this posture is magic, and you know the more you let go, the faster its magic works, if you like. So just feel like you're breathing through your solar plexus, releasing any tension that's still in your body down through into the floor. And with your mind, you are simply following your breath. So as you breathe, I want you to feel like you're opening a channel that runs right deep through the center of your chest, down into your tummy. So as you breathe in, you feel your tummy press toward the floor. As you breathe out, your tummy comes back towards your spine and your whole body relaxes. And with your mind, just follow the breath. And until you come into contact with a deep stillness within you. And to stay in that place of stillness, you simply follow and keep a gentle focus on your breath. Just allowing there to be space in your mind, because when there's space in your mind, this is when the intuitive wisdom gets a chance just to drop in. Usually with the chatter of all the thoughts that run in your mind, that intuitive wisdom's always there. Your higher self, your soul is giving you guidance all the time, but we can't hear it because there's too much chatter. So by focusing on the breath, we just allow the chatter to die down. By taking the breath deeper, we slow the chatter down to the space between those thoughts. They still come into our mind. They pass through our mind and out again. But that focus on the breath gives us the detachment to just rest in a place of peace, allowing those thoughts to be in the background. And sometimes, every now and then, something profound drops into your mind that doesn't sound or feel or think like your normal thoughts. It often arrives as a whole, complete, more like download of an idea. And sometimes it's just a feeling, sometimes it's just a nagging pull in a direction. I've had words of a song that won't go away until I listen to them, and then I laugh because I realize they're exactly what I need. So just allow there to be some space for this wisdom to get a chance to be heard. Now gently bring your feet together. Place your hands under your shoulders, and we're just going to come up into the extended child. So just stretching your hands forward, similar to the swan, but this time our knees and our lower legs are parallel. And we just stretch. Lovely. I think you earned a relaxation now. So have a drink. You want to be warm and comfortable. If you want to go back into the crocodile, if you're quite comfortable, you want to stay in the crocodile, do. You might want to lie on your back, sit up, lie on your side. I don't mind. The main thing is that you can relax and you're warm and comfortable. Okay, so I'll give you a few moments just to get yourself organized before we go into the relaxation. To get, excuse me, get yourself comfortable. If you're lying on your back, make sure you have your lower back in contact with the floor. So lift up your pelvis and roll it back down. Just helps to ground your energy. Let your feet, let your legs be slightly apart and your feet turn outward. Again, just helps your nervous system to relax. If you're lying in Makarasana, see if you can relax across your shoulders and your hips, feeling like from the center of your solar plexus, your body is opening in all directions, almost like the sort of star you used to do when you were a child. Now we'll begin with some deep yogic breathing. So breathing in, down through that channel, breathing into your belly, letting your tummy fill with air as you breathe in. And then gently pull your tummy back towards your spine, releasing the air. And really tune into your body, just breathing in when your body is ready. Slow, deep breaths. And with your mind, just following the breath. I want you to give yourself permission today, still staying awake, but I want you to surrender to that feeling in your body that wants to let go. So right here now, in this moment, listen to your body and to see with each breath if you can let go that little bit more. So in your mind, I want you to imagine that you're walking down some beautiful steps that have been carved into some rock. And down the bottom of these steps is a naturally formed, beautiful pool of seawater. So it's not crashing waves or anything at all. It's quite calm. And you're just up looking at that water. It's really inviting. It looks so refreshing. But you've probably got, I don't know, half a dozen to 10 steps to slowly descend down toward the water's edge. So we're just going to walk down each step. And as you lower yourself onto each step, I want you to feel like you're relaxing a little deeper. So we're going to go slowly. Now, absolutely, you might not feel comfortable with this. You can sit down on any step you want, because just gazing at that water and being near the seaside and being in this energy will be restoring. You may not feel like you want to go down any further. Please do what is right for you. But I would encourage you just to take another step down, feeling your body relaxing deeper into the floor. Your mind is still with me. Your mind is holding that image, but you're allowing your body to relax just that bit deeper than you maybe ever have done before. We've got right into the spine, into the connective tissue, into what's called the dura, and release some tension that may have been there for some time. This is a really good opportunity to go deeper. Okay, let's take another step down. You can feel the breeze, you can smell the salt. Maybe you can hear seagulls. You can definitely hear some waves lapping on the shore off in the distance. But you've got this beautiful big rock that is grounded in the earth and it's rock solid. So you know you're safe. You're in a little protected area. And let's take another step down. Very slowly, you can rest, sit down, contemplate the view from each step if you want to. But I want you to just practice being on each step of the way. Not being in a hurry to get to the end result, but enjoying the journey. Now, if you're comfortable, I want you to take another step down. We've only got sort of 3 or 4 now till we're going to reach that water. You might want to just sit and stay here enjoying the breeze. You might decide you're going to sit and meditate in this position. Be totally directed by what's right for you. But if you feel like you want to, let's take another step. Going even deeper. Going into that very quiet place in your mind. Thoughts are running, but they're very much in the background. And let's take another step. So we've just got one more until we can dip our toes in the water if we want to. So feel your whole body is as light as a feather. You're deeply connected to this beautiful scene. Now we're taking the last step down and we're right on the edge of the water. And I'm going to invite you just to sit on this step, allowing your feet and your lower legs to just dip and dangle into the water. Oh, it's refreshing. There's a gentle movement of the tides and the waves, but nothing choppy. It's very pleasant. It's not sharply cold, it's refreshing. You can feel your skin tingling. And maybe you just move your feet and your legs. You can feel the tension in your feet and legs just flowing out into the sea. Salt water, especially salt water that's moving, is so cleansing on so many levels for our body. Now you might choose to just stay here. This might be enough for you. Or you might be a full immersion type of person. Now the pool, you can touch the bottom. Okay, this is a perfectly formed sea pool. So the water is flowing in and coming out, but it's gentle. The sun is shining. And you are feeling deeply peaceful but completely safe. So if you want to, I want you to slide in. Getting the rest of your body wet so that your head is still up above the water. But you feel that wonderful sense of weightlessness that you feel when you're in seawater. And the salt is quite dense in this water, so it is really supporting and lifting your body. You can float easily. Even if you're not a confident swimmer, you are fine. But that profound sense of freedom when all the tension is just flowing out of your body into the seawater and washing away with the waves, with the tides. You can feel any residue tension in your back, in your torso, around your hips and your shoulders just washing away. And maybe you'd like to turn onto your back. And there's enough salt in this water that you can lie in a starfish position and be gently rocked by the movement of the water and totally supported. You can just completely relax. You can feel the sun on your face, you can breathe easily. And you're just feeling that seawater remove any residue tension around the back of your neck, top of your shoulders, as you just float. Almost wishing that this feeling could go on forever. You are so relaxed. That tension that was deep in your body, deep in your spine, is just flowing out into the water. And if you're aware of any tension still in your body, just imagine that part is releasing particularly. Give it permission. surrender to this beautiful water, this wonderful experience. Now you can continue to float on your back if you want to. Or if you feel like you want to dive under, head under, so your whole body is immersed under this water, you can do that. This is a safe place to do that. And know that when you come up and surface for air, you will feel so refreshed. Like all your cares and worries, all the tension from weeks, months, maybe even years, is just dissolved away. You've been put back together, restored to the peace that is your true nature. And you'll know this is working when you start to feel a bit curious and playful. Maybe you want to have a bit of a swim around and explore this lovely pool, the sea pool that you're in. Some of you might want to dive down deep and see if you can see any sea life. You might decide that you are on the edge of a coral reef and you're going to dive down and just have a look at those beautiful colours and all the magnificent fish and sea creatures. You might decide you're going to invite some little dolphins into your sea pool because you feel like playing. As the tension releases, so you will be filled with joy and a childlike playfulness that is also your natural state of being. Sometimes as adults we forget there's a little child in us that still needs to play. And that child is joyful. So just use your imagination. Anything is possible. You might want to invite a sea turtle in, just to watch the beautiful grace with which they swim. Or you might be content just to float on your back and watching the clouds pass by, or watching the seagulls fly overhead, listening to their squawks. But this is a beautiful, peaceful place to be. And you can feel it just taking away deep tension. Tension that maybe you haven't gone there for a little while. You just thought you had to hold on to it. But now you realize you can let it go and trust. You can flow with a deep connection to the strength that's within you. It's not to be found in the outer world. It's to be found within you. So just give yourself permission just to enjoy this environment. There's no one else here. This is just your place. You connecting with the sea. When we're in salt water like this, it is so purifying, cleansing, and rejuvenating at the same time. It grounds our energy, puts us back in connection with the currents and flows and movements of our natural world. And as we surrender to that, so we will enjoy better health and vitality. Everything relaxes, and when everything in your body relaxes, everything works better. Partly why children enjoy so much energy and good health and heal so quickly. Part of the reason is they don't carry the same amount of tension. So just for these few moments, you are free of responsibilities, cares, doubts, fears, the whole lot just dissolve away. So that what is left is pure joy, peace and love. Your essence, swimming in a beautiful place. And now it's time, you're going to climb back up onto that bottom step. And there's some steps under the water to help you. You do it with ease. And you're going to sit on that bottom step, or maybe the next one up if you don't want your feet in the water. And just sit there for a few moments in the sunshine, feeling the sunshine on your skin, just drying your skin. There's a gentle breeze, but it's warm. You can just feel your body gently drying and that wonderful tingling, refreshing feeling. Your skin is silky smooth. Your energy field is revitalized. Ah, it's so lovely. And you can breathe so easily. Your back feels strong and supple. You realize that a lot of the tension is gone around your shoulders and neck. Your chest feels open. Your heart feels bursting and open. And now as your body dries, I want you to gently rise up onto your feet. And we're going to slowly make our way back up the steps. But as we do, we are going to come back to our waking reality. But we're going to come back feeling refreshed, feeling calm, feeling healed, deeply rejuvenated by this experience. So just slowly taking a step or two upward. You can always pause and turn around and just gaze out to sea, letting your eyes fill with the vastness of the horizon. This brings you into your right brain and it helps you to connect with those alpha brain waves that help you feel creative and relaxed and calm, at one with all things. To make your way up another couple of steps, we're slowly coming back. Breathing nice and calmly. And now we've just got a couple of steps before you're going to start to come back into an awareness of your body lying on the floor in this room. So slowly coming back, letting the images fade, but keeping them in your heart. Keeping the joy and the freedom, the playfulness in your heart. And take a nice deep breath in and just coming back into the room, becoming aware of your physical body in the here and now. And just start to move fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe stretching your arms overhead to wake up your spine. If you need to, draw your knees up to your chest and just rock them from side to side just to ease out any tension in your lower back. And then rolling over onto your right hand side, resting there for a moment, supporting your head. Keeping this relaxed feeling. And then coming up to sitting. And your challenge is going to be to see how long you can keep this relaxed feeling. Hopefully the rest of today, maybe even into later in the week. You can always do the relaxation again or the whole class again if you feel that tension building up again. Take a nice deep breath in. And relax. And another one. Feel like your whole being is filling with air and energy. Lovely. Namaste. Thank you so much.